birthday in the month of March, and of course, we say happy Salah too. No, not Salah. We say Baraka. Ramadan Karim. I'm sorry about that.
Ramadan Karim. We'll find you.
Wow.
Okay then. Okay, I am Citizen Jones Hussein. But you know, today on the program, PDP reverses suspension of Fayose Ayim and some others, just as Benue PDP picks or sacks masterminds of IU suspension. And later on the program, we'll share this with you. Barrister Agbakoba describes interim government as nonsense and that there's no constitutional provision for it. But let me report I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, BKO. I greet you, BKO.
Good evening, Citizen.
Happy birthday to you. We'll talk about that later. And there's also Dr. Oladipo here. Dr. welcome. Good evening to you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, let's go. You know, a popular idiom says, those whom the gods love die young. How do we reconcile this? Now, veteran actor, legendary Pete Edoche has mourned the death of his grandson, 16-year-old Kambili Chukwu Edoche, and father of the late boy and son of Pete, Yul Edoche, himself a Nollywood heavyweight, said the boy fell down while playing football at school with his mates. He had a seizure, we are told. Now, Pete said, people that excel like him don't last long. Well, we at Journalist Hangout share the grief of the Edoches, right?
Yeah, it's painful to lose a son, just 16-year-old, and was exceptional, brilliant, never gets angry, even in any situation, never easily gets angry. And he talked about how talented the boy was. So this is the kind of death that would pain anybody. You know how bad we felt here when Davido lost his son. Yeah. It's just the same way that as parents we feel to hear that this young boy is gone, and we can only pray that God will grant his parents the fortitude to bear this terrible loss.
Doctor, is the way of everybody, but as Jide has just said, when it comes when you don't expect it, raises the question of whether is there a particular time to die?
No, there is no particular time to die. God decides that. And from what we were told about the boy, Kambili Chukwu, he actually read through the night, preparing for his exam. And then after the paper, just to catch some fun with his mates, he fell down and he died. Not expected. He wasn't ill. He was active. And, well, it's even so sad now hearing what the granddad has to say about him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he said when he was told the boy fell, he had something running through him.
Oh, wow.
People like him don't last for long.
Yeah.
It says a lot about the kind of talent.
Yeah.
Because if a talented man like that is saying so of such a young man,
a 16-year-old,
16-year-old, it means
he knows what
packed,
he's saying.
Yes, it means he has packed something that we outsiders
may not
can't see.
Understand, yeah. You know, of a truth, those whom the gods love will die young.
Yes, the Yoruba say that Egito bato ipenigbo, which means the straight tree doesn't last in the forest because loggers will come for it.
Okay, okay.
You prefer the ramrod straight tree to the bent one. So loggers will always go for those straight, big tree. So that's why they say Gitobato Kikwenigbo, because loggers will at it.
Yeah. But they say at 40 you begin to check your vitals. You shouldn't wait until you are 40.
Now, these days, because I was at Lut to do a special last Friday, and what I discovered was startling. Kids suffering from cancer. Kids. You know, when I say kids, I'm talking about people just above 5 years.
Yes.
Kids suffering from diabetes. I mean, these things were not there before. You won't hear, many years ago, nobody would talk about kids suffering from diabetes. But because of diet and all that. Yes, but that's the reality now. That's the reality now. Cancer. I entered the world, I saw a lot of kids suffering from cancer.
Wow.
It's so barren. You can't, you take your eyes away because you could just break down. Kids. So these days, I don't know, maybe the boy had a heart condition that no one knew, and then it resulted in cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
So that's why we all need to check from time to time, so that if you have a condition, you can then begin to look for remedy, not wait until...
In good time.
Yes, not wait until something happens.
Yeah.
It takes... Someone could just trip and then it's gone. I've told the story of a bus conductor who was fighting a man over change. The man said his wife was in labor that needed to rush. So the guy now said, look, I told you before entering this bus that I didn't have change.
Yeah.
But the guy insisted that he had to give him that change. So he just, during the altercation, he hit him on the chest. He died instantly. Not a punch, just to try to fend someone off. And he died.
Leave me alone.
Yes. There are many people that are walking around in our country. They are actually sleeping corpses. You won't know. If you try to raise your hand against someone, you could have death on your hands. So it's best to just, let's make peace. Let's not attempt to fight at every opportunity, because the person that you want to fight, you give him a slap. He's gone.
Good night.
Oh.
And then you become a killer.
And then you say, no, you didn't expect that he would die. So this is the thing.
Yeah, okay. So to the Edoches, we are deeply sorry about it. It was preventable. They say the Lord knows best. Okay then, we talk politics now. Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima has visited former heads of state Ibrahim Babangida and Abdul Salami Abubakar in Minna, Niger State. Now, the visit, according to the former Borno State governor, was to check on the elder statesmen during the Ramadan. He sought fatherly advice from the retired generals. He told newsmen this. Now, Dotun politics is in season, so we expect more of such crisscrossing, junketing in the country in the months to come.
Certainly. Not even in the days after the elections, when you need to consult, when you also need to talk to people who can talk to people. We have, it's now the season of tribunals. So
the lawyers are in season now.
They are in season, but at some point, we have come to realize that until when these generals get to their peak and they leave, it's always a must to consult them. Before the election, that was what happened. Everybody who needed, affirmation needed to go there, because they are strong voices. You can't wish them away.
Yeah.
You can't. And in this season, we need intervention. We can see a lot of things happening. Brickbats, people spoiling for war, so to say, people who want to protest. It's all fine, but with elder statesmen and people with such strong voices, we need them
because
at this
they are
time.
father figures.
They are father figures. The people
Yes, but in this case, it's not actually endorsement that
as it were.
Shettima is seeking. An election has held, the president-elect has emerged, so we couldn't have been looking for endorsement at this stage, but is trying to show them that, look, we know how important you are. We know how valuable your advice can be. You've seen it all. President Babangida is described as the first Nigerian leader who wanted to be president of Nigeria and became president of Nigeria. You know the way our country is. The people who chase the top prize, who throw everything at becoming the president, they are usually the people who don't get it. They are usually the people who don't get to lay their hands on it.
Yeah.
Shehu Shagari wanted to go to the Senate. He was not really interested in becoming president. But a grade 2 teacher, he was picked ahead of much more qualified people educationally. So the case of he was not waiting, and then he got it. Obasanjo did not want to be head of state. In fact,
The first time.
that first time, even the second time, even the second time, we get there. You say, I know what I'm saying when I said in our country, IBB was the first who wanted to be president of this country, and he became president.
Military president.
Yes, no, he addressed himself as president. You know, so in the case of
Abdul Salam
Shagari, you know, I was
building up.
Yes,
Yeah.
people like Metama Sule contested for the top prize, but the MPN went for Shagari. Unfancied person at that time, he became head of state.
They say he was personable, very personable.
Yes, maybe they preferred someone like that, you know, who was pliable and all that. Now, look at
MKO?
No, look at Obasanjo. Murtala was killed. Obasanjo did not want to be president. In fact, one writer, a former PAMSEC, wrote that Obasanjo actually ran away to hide somewhere. I don't want to mention where he was said to have hid himself. He didn't want the job, and he was number 2.
Nobody is going there. Oh, go on.
You know, and it was, you know, this is the season when everything you say gets twisted, you know. So, and he was number 2. Naturally, the prize will fall on his lap, or his laps. But he didn't want it, he ran away. They got hold of him where he was and said, you become president.
It was not his will.
He didn't plan. The second time when he became president, this time civilian president, he was in Yola prison. When Abdul Salamin and IBB brought him out of prison, took good care of him, cleaned him up thoroughly, and then said, you will contest. They needed that to placate the Southwest and Ogun State especially, that had lost MKO, and then Shonekon, who was the interim president, was also chased away by Abacha. So this time they needed to make them happy. And then they went for him. He didn't want to be president. He was serving a jail term for a coup that never happened. You know, so this is the thing. IBB's place in Nigerian politics is a significant one. People hate him because of June 12. But I've not seen a Nigerian president, a Nigerian head of state, that achieved like IBB in terms of infrastructure development. The first dual carriageway in northern Nigeria is the Abuja-Kano dual carriageway. It was IBB that brought it, and so many first.
And the third mainland bridge.
Yes, so many. We can't. Even Hangout was the only station able to interview him live during that period. and we interview him live, they were abusing us. They said we were praising him. No matter how bad a man is, you should at least be able to talk about some achievements that he recorded.
Yeah, that's it. That's
you
it.
know?
Because you can't wish them away.
You can't wish them away.
Yeah.
People will go, generations will go, they will remember who did what.
Yeah.
And we as historians, because they say journalism is history in a hurry.
That's it.
You know,
that's it.
So we as historians, we have an obligation to say this person did this person did that. And you know, a musician even sang a song. I think it was Obesere that said, "Èyí tó bá ṣe là ó ròyìn nínú iṣẹ́ wa." Although maybe it had its own meaning.
The one we do now, we'll talk about.
But perhaps he had a different meaning because of his lewd lyrics and all that.
Okay.
He wasn't a particularly good person. But the thing is, people will talk about what you achieved.
So bring the thing home.
I'm not surprised that this kind of role Shettima should be prepared to play, because we need Nigeria to heal.
Yeah.
He should be ready to
Mend
go.
fences.
Yes, he should be ready to stoop to conquer. He's now a number 2 man. Where Asiwaju would not be in position to go, he has to go, talk to people, tell them, look, you need to support us. We mean well. And I believe that this is the first step. There are others too that need to be across the regions of our country. And IBB, look, I've had one-on-ones with IBB on at least 2 occasions, and that is Mena House. I can tell you that even in old age, he's a very busy man, because people consult him. People need favors here and there. They come to him. And when he says, do this for this person, you know, because he has that voice that is respected.
Still relevant.
Yeah, so those people are bound to listen. So he's still even working like somebody still in office. I'm telling you, this is what I saw practically. Letters, people will bring letters, people waiting to see him. They have one letter, they have one issue that they believe that his troubleshooting efforts, he can help them to solve. So I'm not surprised that Shettima went there. And I was also happy to see the former Attorney General, Edoche. Was it Edoche that I saw? I saw someone that looked at him.
Oh, okay, in the entourage.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay. Dr. So you know, because our politicians have the penchant, you know, the tendency to want to build walls. Now we need those bridges.
We really need it.
It looks like Edoche, but it's not the one.
It's not. We really, really need it now. And like BKO said, there must be somebody who must constantly reach out, because a government is not just about formulation of policies.
Yeah.
It is also about talking to the people to let them know why those policies are important and why they must support it. You know, a lot of times we have good policies, but because of where we are coming from, we already have a bias. It's just like getting to a police checkpoint. Even if it is the fact that they are searching for someone's relative and you don't know that that person is missing, you already have your bias.
Yeah.
Why?
Somebody will be able to communicate. We need a government that can communicate effectively.
As you said, it's owing to where we are coming from.
Yes, where we are coming from. You know, we've talked about it on this program. The cashless policy is good.
Yeah.
But something happened along the line. So anytime somebody brings something like that now, we are going to be scared.
Yes.
And theories.
People are refusing to put their money in the bank.
Yes, banks are complaining now.
We want that it will
that
happen.
money is only going out. It's not coming back.
When I said it here that banks will suffer from that, somebody who does not know anything, who was standing beside Mefele, was attacking me for making that point. But it's just logical.
It's logical
that
now.
if you suffered to get your hand on your money,
and then you want
now
to
if you
return
make
it to
more
the
money,
same place.
will you still go there?
That's what
so
is
there's
happening.
a lot of confidence building that we have
We
to
need to do now.
before people can begin to say, okay, we're putting our money in the bank, and especially physical cash.
Yeah.
Physical cash, they will be reluctant to put in the bank.
Of course, we can
So
do transfer.
you can actually have a perfect program on paper. a perfect policy on paper.
Implementation,
the implementation will ruin it.
That's it.
And make it so unpopular before our people.
As if you were unthinking right from the beginning.
Yes.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
Okay, so in taking this home, therefore, VP-elect is treading a familiar path, a path that should.
It needs to do more of that.
Yeah.
More of it.
More of that.
Okay, then, let's move on to our next story. The disquiet in the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, may be far from being over. In a move aimed at reconciling the warring camps of the party, the National Working Committee, the NWC, rose from its meeting on Thursday, chaired by Acting Chairman Ambassador Umar Damagum, and reversed the suspension of some leaders of the party. And so, former governors Ibrahim Shema of Katsina State, Ayo Fayose of Ekiti State, former number 3 man Ayim Pius Ayim, and Aslam Aliyu of Zamfara State are no longer on suspension. Meanwhile, we can tell you this, the PDP has suspended the Igerab Ward Executive Committee of the party in Boko, Benue State. They are seen as the masterminds of Edoche Ayu's suspension. Did the French have something they say? They say the more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yes, but on this program, on the day we debated this issue, what we kept saying was, look, you people are in crisis. You just lost an election. This is not the time to start kicking people out of the party. You need to do a postmortem. Ask yourself, where did we go wrong? And try to fix that problem ahead of future election. But you started on the wrong footing. And these people that you are kicking away, they are very valuable. They are very valuable. So look at when Ayim said, well, I do not regret what I've done. In my state, there is a zoning policy. Our own party imposed a candidate that went against the zoning agenda. So I decided to support the APC, and I have no regret. Shema, the former governor of Katsina, in his own case said, you must reverse that decision immediately or I leave. They gave them that condition. So in the case of Fayose's lawyer fired them a letter accusing them of libel. In the wordings of the letter, suspending him. So even the people suspended were already baying for blood. They were ready, they were set for a fight. Yes. And because they also didn't follow their constitution. If a member of NEC, somebody high in the party like Fayose, if you are going to suspend him, you must follow due process. Yeah. If you do not follow due process, it will take you to court. You will be disgraced. You have eggs on your faces. So now, I think they've decided to look at the whole issue holistically, and they've concluded that no, at this time, let us calm down. Let's calm down. Because by hemorrhaging party members to rival parties at this time, you are not going to be strong enough for the next election.
Oh yeah. So
I think reason somehow has prevailed. But in the case of those who suspended Ayu, again, they did not follow the constitution of the party. So maybe to that extent, their own punishment
with them too.
Could be justified, could be said to be justified. But the truth is, people like Fayose, they are ready for a fight with the party. In the case of Fayose, because of the libelous content of that letter, and the fact that they didn't follow procedure.
Process, All right, we must make some money, so go on a commercial break. We'll be back. But please stay with us.
Nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
The Jeep loan through Mrs. Umar, who is the desk officer in Calabar South of the National Orientation Agency. I registered through her. Thereafter, I was shortlisted. At first, when I heard about the program, I didn't believe it. I was thinking it was a scam because you've been hearing a thing of this and it's been so rampant everywhere. But I was optimistic that it will come to reality. Before now, I was unable to own a stand. Before now, I was able to get few important ones, and that's been helping me to work, and at the same time make me own a stand where accessories are being sold. I thank the federal government for the program.
All right, then, welcome back. Dr. Still about the disquiet in the opposition party, you know.
Now, my major thought when I heard this news was, where were these people who reinstated all of these people? When are you was taking those decisions? Because you cannot just say to me that they had a long meeting overnight after you, or that day after you stepped aside and took that decision. What it meant was there were people in that executive who believed I would see anything. You are complicit.
You didn't raise your voice.
You didn't raise your voice. And I said to myself, why can't we have a man in the mold of the national vice chairman, one of the national vice chairmen in APC, Saliu Molukman, who can talk, who can defend their position and says what you are doing is wrong. Not people who can be shouted down. People who will sit down, put their thoughts.
Who will throw their weight around.
Put their thoughts together and put it on paper and say, see, I'm not just saying it, I'm putting it in black and white. So that when tomorrow comes, somebody will be able to say, this man said so. Lukman was sent on suspension too, but they called him back immediately because what he was fighting for, what he was saying, was the truth.
That's it.
A party that does not have a soul, a conscience, is dead.
So, do you remember what happened on the eve of an election to the APC in Zamfara State, when the INEC brandished the yellow card
and threw those people out?
Yeah.
So we must know that those things will keep happening if we are not careful. Political parties are not newsrooms. They are not military barracks, where at some point somebody must take charge and give the orders. Political parties are gatherings of men with different interests. And when they decide to take those interests away, like Fayoshe, like the G5, like Chimaroke Unamani did, you are just going to spoil the fruit. There's nothing you can do about it.
So you would have too many cooks in the kitchen, and so you are fearful of the kind of meal that will come from such a kitchen.
You know, the way it is, it's not even a case of too many cooks. Too few cooks deciding for everyone. That's what we see, whether in the APC or PDP. A small band of people believing that it is whatever they want that must prevail. If they don't love you, they don't want you, you have no future in the party.
If somebody sees them before you get there.
So, in this case, you do not rush to suspend people of this caliber, politicians of this caliber. These are difference makers. These are big politicians. These are people that the opposition will be happy
to have.
Your rivals will be happy to jump at them. Whether you like it or not, first, he's a grassroots politician, he has value. No matter what you say about him. He has value. And he's somebody who is sure-footed. If he believes in something, he fights for it. You need him in your corner. When you have Fayose in your corner, you can go to bed convinced that you have someone who can fight till death for you. So is that the kind of person that you simply want to throw out of your party? Because it will make the other party, it will make the rival party stronger.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Attention will go there.
Yes, when you have Fayose now from Ekiti, joining the APC in Ekiti, it becomes a one-party state. Effectively,
Completely.
it becomes a one-party state. Because it's the biggest politician in the APC there. In terms of the appeal, in terms of his capacity to mobilize, is the biggest. I'm very sure of that. This is a man who defeated 2 incumbent governors. Who is the Nigerian governor who has Fayose's record? He defeated 2 incumbents. And he didn't win by rigging. He won hands down. Hands down. Forget all the noise about, oh, he rigged. How did he rig? In 2003, when he came and defeated Adebayo, you cannot say that was rigging because he came from nowhere. And when he bounced back to defeat Kaudi Fayemi, you cannot say that was rigging. He won hands down, he won all the local governments. All right. So you can't have such a person and feel that, look, we can dispense with him like a sweet wrap on the floor. No, you can't do that. You must keep your valuable players. Coaches keep their valuable players.
In the team,
You want to be throwing your valuable players away. You've lost an election. Instead of coming together and seeing how you can build on that and become stronger, you want to send away your big politicians. How are you going to win the next one?
Magic.
Allow magic to happen.
I wonder. Dr. There's this talk about internal party democracy. You know, it's missing.
We've spoken on it on this program a couple of times. And the truth is that until when that is grounded in our parties, we'll continue to see these things.
I mean, because every party has a constitution, and that constitution is like the rule book.
Yes, the constitution is there. But at the same time, even if you need to tamper with certain things in that constitution for convenience sake, you must get the buy-in of others. It's not by
fiat.
It's not by making a pronouncement. It's not by saying we have decided. For instance, you want to go into a primary. You already know where the result or the outcome will tilt. Then you now take that man out who is likely to have won, and then he goes into an opposition party. He's definitely going to have his way. Just like what happened in Nasarawa State. And in a couple of states, it happened with some senatorial and state assembly seats in some states. So that will keep happening. What you need to do, if you feel very strongly, for instance, that a particular clan needs to produce a candidate.
So be it.
And what you need to do is sit down and have an agreement. We've seen it happen in Kogi, where 2 people close to themselves, friends, wanted to go to the center, and they said, no, it's going to this town next. And the moment that was decided, that was what the people did. Even if the party did not go in that direction. The people decided. Your town has had it, it's our turn. So if the party decides to now take it away, then the people will show them.
No, they won't vote for them.
They won't vote for you.
Now, Fayose, through his lawyer, is asking for apology that by retracing his steps, they have admitted that even the content of the letter
was wrong.
Something was wrong with it. So he was talking about that, the libelous press release made on the 23rd of March through the office of the PDP spokesman. spokesman. They described it as reckless, irresponsible, unfounded, malicious, and not unsubstantiated. So it's demanding for unreserved apology to be made by the NWC in an issued press release to all affected leaders, particularly Edochie. So PDP still has a chance to put his house in order.
I agree with you.
As we suggested
what
to them.
What would you say to them now, because they are watching?
Yes, as I said when we first discussed this issue some days back, you are already in a weakened position. You have lost an election. Lost many of your states, even in you lost many states in the governorship election. Try to make your party stronger.
Yeah.
Not to be chasing away the heavy hitters in your party, because whichever way you look at it, these people are heavy hitters in the party.
Yeah.
So you don't need at this time to just simply chase people away without even without a recourse to your constitution as amended in 2017. So this is the time for them to look at this matter again, meet with the people concerned, and say, look, these are our fears. These are our concerns about you people.
All right.
Some of your actions we do not like. Can we start afresh and build a party that we all can be proud of? I always down on anybody. He did not tell his supporters to make Kano ungovernable, because given the number of his supporters, if he said that, it is a possibility that it will happen. He just calmed down, believing that 4 years is just a number.
Yeah.
Today, the party his party won the election, and his own popularity is even greater than that of 2019.
That's it.
Because he won in places where he didn't win in 2019. So that's the value of patience, not simply to rush into action, take harebrained decisions that in the final analysis you then regret.
All right, so let's bury this subject matter by saying to the PDP, in politics, there's no permanent friendship or enmity. Only interest is permanent. We wish you well. All right, let's talk constitutional law now. A former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Chief Olisa Agbakoba, SAN, has declared that there's no constitutional provision for an interim government in Nigeria. Agbakoba dismissed the idea as total hogwash. The lawyer's comments came as a result of the alert by the Department of State Services, DSS, that some political actors were plotting to bring an interim government into power to scuttle Senator Bola Tinubu's, the president-elect, from being inaugurated on May 29. Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau has dismissed the gambit as not feasible under President Muhammadu Buhari. You agree?
I agree. It won't happen. It won't happen. But
remember 30 years ago, nearly 30 years ago?
Well, that was different.
Okay.
Especially when you look at the personalities. Person who was in power then and the person in power now. There has always been a consistency. There have been pronouncements from this particular president that I'm going to hand over to the winner of that election, and I will not stay a minute longer than I should. I want to return to my farm. I want to return to my home. It's reassuring. The fear that the DSS is highlighting now mainly has to do with people protesting in a way that can bring chaos to the country. I felt a lot of people were very excited today when they heard that there was going to be a protest in the US, that the government has allowed it. A protest is good when it is done within the ambit of the law.
Of the law, yeah.
We've had a protest here in Lagos during the June 12 saga, championed by Professor Wole Soyinka and the rest. And they went to the police and said, see, we are going to take off from the GRA and we are going to come to somewhere close to you here in TVC or Jota. And this is the time we are allotting to it. Once we are finished, we are done. Any other person you see is not part of us. Do you know that those of us who came as journalists, packed all these tout saws, we packed, we covered it, we had our vehicles damaged after those guys left. Because that is the nature of protest in Nigeria. Some people are waiting to use that opportunity to make those who are even at their own level cry. They want to loot shops, they want to burn cars for no reason. That's usually the fear in Nigeria.
All right.
But protest is legal.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
I'm looking at the DSS and equate it with the FBI in America or the MI5 in Britain. So when they intervene at a time like this, something gives. And, you know, some folks are asking, if you claim you know personalities involved, why don't you go after them?
It's easy for people to say such things.
Is that said and done?
It's easier said than done. You see, since Asiwaju Tinubu won this election, the bad losers, and they know who they are, because they were defeated in this election. That is a fact. The bad losers have been trying desperately to heat up the polity, and they are setting traps. Even the DSS could walk into some of those traps. Setting traps, trying to set the nation ablaze. You can hear that even when the DSS made this accusation, one of the opposition parties said, oh, it's just they are looking for an opportunity to arrest opposition elements.
That's it.
But we know that
you think that's preemptive?
No, this is they do not. I believe politics? That you see, these people will stop at nothing to make sure that inauguration doesn't happen. We've seen a band of reckless young people clearly not knowing their left from their right, clearly unable to even totally defend their actions, going to defense headquarters to kneel down that the military should take over power. The military, I mean, these are kids. They were in their diapers the last time we had the military rule. And they don't have a sense of history because we were not born during the First and Second World War, but we can tell the story. I did not witness the Six-Day War between Israel and the Arab world. I can tell the story like somebody who observed the war.
There, yeah.
You know? I didn't see the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah.
But I can tell the story. This is possible to not be born when we had Abacha.
Up to 1998.
But we can tell the story. Some of us lost our friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's by providence that some of us are alive.
Yeah.
Because we were active players in that era with our pens. So
remember Nadeko of Yor and so on.
So how do you then explain people behaving like vagrants, going to kneel down
in front of a military headquarters?
That they should take over power? Did their parents not tell them story? Did they tell them about Kudirat Abiola? How people were just being systematic. Harry Marshall. People were being systematically wasted on the streets of our country.
But we must
and then
go,
you say you want military.
We must go on this break now.
You must be out of your mind, though.
Please,
honestly,
stay with us. We'll be back after this commercial break. Thank you.
Your favorite cash giveaway is coming this April.
Make your money, babe.
To win a share of the 1 million naira, be the 10th caller on Max FM. When you hear the winning song, beat the clock and win yourself free cash.
You don't win 54,000 naira!
From 6 a.m. on the Max Breakfast and throughout the day, we guarantee to give away 1 million naira in Nigeria's radio cash giveaway.
Everybody getting paid.
Max Millions.
When I was younger, I got asked a question by a friend. What is the ultimate dream in life? You see, in my several decades on earth, I have seen trends come and go, hopes dashed and deserted. But the story of success has taught us that the ultimate dream should be one that inspires you to paddle through the odds to victory. Finally, I have the answer. It is a journey of pushing through the odds. It is about challenging the norm, to strive for excellence, to always be in motion, to never give up.
After a fruitful Ramadan day, replenish your body with the right nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
Yeah, Doku, let's quickly take it home. So, interim government, not constitutional.
No, we are not even supposed to go in that direction. Not even
So,
to talk of
Barrister Agbakoba is right here.
Very right. What we should do is to allow the process to run. There is
That's a suggestion. Huh?
there is an election tribunal. If anybody who is aggrieved can go there, the president-elect should be allowed. We've seen this happen over time. The only point that we have not seen is, so far, and this has been by law, no president has been removed from power, but governors have been taken out. Senators have been removed. House of Reps members have been dethroned. So let the process run. If the facts are there on ground.
How come you are even in court and at the same time protest? To what end? What do you want to achieve with the protest?
What's the big idea?
What is the basis of the protest? You filed a petition before
and
the
you are pursuing
tribunal.
it.
So why not be patient for the courts to decide? Why are you protesting? What do you want to achieve with the protest when you already filed a petition? You're just hitting on the politics.
The one that is legal.
But you have heard that Nigerian politicians are suspicious of anything. They are conspiracy theories.
They are bad losers. You see, out of these so-called conspiracy theories, there's usually an element of treason. If people, delusional people, can go and kneel down, you think that a military regime.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Because an interim regime, interim government will be headed by a civilian.
Yeah.
People can go and ask for military regime. You think they can't ask for interim
They
government?
can ask for anything.
They can ask for anything. They can
Which
tell God to please take people's lives just so that they can achieve their aim. Have you not seen, you need to see some pastors preaching. The blatant hate spewing from their mouths. And then they will claim that they are speaking, that they are influenced by the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
You are influenced by your own innate desires.
In fact, that reminds me, a popular pastor in the Southeast had said, you claimed God told you the winner of the election. Now a winner did show you anything.
God didn't show you anything. God didn't show them. Let them stop deceiving us. That God, when they say, "Thus said the Lord," no.
Yeah.
It's "Thus set me." Thus set me. That's what they should say. No, don't say "Thus said the Lord."
Or "Thus set the money that was sent
all right,
to
folks,
prepared me to open my mouth.
We must apply the brakes here, but not before thanking Babajide Kolade Utitoju. You were here younger some days ago. Are you?
I feel young at that.
Okay, okay.
Very young. As I move closer and closer to the 6th floor, I give God the glory.
Okay,
and I thank Nigerians for their love on social media, the words of encouragement, their prayers. I'm so indebted to them.
Yeah.
I can't believe the extent of love Nigerians have shown to me. And go and take political appointment. People think I'm joking. I'm doing the best job in the world.
All right.
Why do I need to go to Aso Rock?
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, my brother.
Dokun, we must go. When is your birthday?
December 19th.
All right, we'll wait. All right, that's it on the program tonight. If you missed us, join us at 11 tonight. I think that should be straightforward. Join us later at 11 tonight for a repeat broadcast. But on Sunday, we have a fresh 2-hour edition for you from 1:30. Join us then. And Journalist Hangout is on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones. Bye-bye now.
Miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.